Kira, thank you. The Buckeyes are back in the Cotton Bowl for the third consecutive year, a chance to get one step closer to another national championship title.
The game now just under 36 hours away. Tracy is in Plano ahead of tomorrow's big game. And Tracy, it sounds like you're joined by some special guests from 97.1 The Fan.
Yes, they are very special guests. We have Austin and Birm with us from 97.1 The Fan. All right, guys, welcome.
Thank you. Great to see you again.
All right, so it is. I'm glad you brought that back up. So, of course, they were with us at the game before Texas, and that's when I got the flair for Austin and Birm, and I was like, I like them. So let's see if that stays with us. All right, so we were together yesterday at Media Day. I know that's old hat for you all, but it was my first time, and it was like really fun.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. Now, it's sort of, it really is a blast, but now you were talking about some of the highlights of the people who are kind of like surprise stars this year. So who would you say?
Well, there's so many on this team, which is part of the fun. When you think back to our conversation before the Texas game, it was really an unwritten story. There were so many unproven players. The national championship run had so many starters who had to be replaced, so that you can find surprises at virtually every position. But for me, Bo Jackson was just somebody that I did not anticipate him really contributing for Ohio State at all, and he's become a starting running back, a 1,000-yard rusher, one of the most important pieces of this team. So that's one of the most surprising players, I think, in the country. So Bo Jackson, I have to start with him.
I'm impressed with him, too. He's a nice young man. What about you?
For me, it's Caden Curry. Ohio State obviously had to replace JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer from a year ago. And to get a guy like Caden Curry, who's been in the program for 4 years, everyone knew about him. He was always sort of an underappreciated, emotional leader. But to have 11 sacks and be the Big Ten leader in that department and be as good as he's been, I think that's different than people expected. I knew that he was going to be an important piece, but to be as dominant as he's been, I don't think anybody expected that.
And so he just kind of came out there kicking the door. I had a little interaction with Lamar Bo Jackson yesterday. Can we show that?
This freshman year for you, did it go the way that you anticipated? Has it been better? Because I'm on the outside looking in. I know you have lofty goals for yourself. It's like I didn't see you contributing to the level that you have. Certainly didn't think you'd be a starting running back at Ohio State in year one. But when you came in, did you think that was within reach?
I wouldn't say I didn't think it was in reach, but I'll say it's just a dream and a blessing to be here and just get this opportunity.
So we just heard Bo talking about how much of a blessing it is to be there and get that opportunity. What were some other standout moments yesterday at Media Day?
Well, it's always fun to be around this team because I think it becomes a little bit of cliche, but the way that the brotherhood, it's real for Ohio State. And when they interact and you pick up on some of the nicknames that they have for each other, or you hear some of the stories of roommates, we get few opportunities, Tracy, like this throughout the course of the year to really be around them for an extended period of time or see some practice. Now we get throughout the year to watch them on Saturdays and all the work that puts into that, or the fruits of that labor. But to see them around and to talk to some of the freshmen that we don't really get to. A guy, Birm has been hyping up TJ Alford, a freshman linebacker. Well, he's had now an extra month of practice to get ready to maybe play more on special teams or contribute to a college football playoff game off the bench. So like that, the work that they've put in that they haven't really got the attention or the praise for throughout the season, that's what we really like to do on a media day like that is, yes, we've talked to Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs and Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith a million times, but there's 85 scholarship players on this team. They've all been putting in a ton of work for the last 4 months too.
Do you want to add to that?
I'd love to just see the guys in an uncontrolled environment because Ohio State is such a well-oiled PR machine that at times throughout most of the season, everything we do is so calculated, so controlled. And so when you get to see the guys just wandering and see who they gravitate towards, see who they go spend time with, see the way that Edric Houston brings along the other defensive linemen, for example, see the way that Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles interact with each other when no one's really paying attention, that is what ultimately binds a team together. And I think that's the really cool thing about an environment where everyone's just together and you get to do whatever you want, which is just rare.
Sort of like us.
Yeah.
All right. Great talk with this team here. They're going to be here for a little bit. We'll toss it back to you all in the studio.